Hello!
Welcome.
How y'all doing?
Welcome. How's everyone doing today? How are you, Jim?
I'm doing okay. I feel like I've lost something, though.
Your face does look kind of bare, my friend.
Yes, it does. I look like a little kid.
Good face for this video show.
There you go.
So we are at our 10th episode. I can't believe how fast all this stuff goes by. We've almost done this a year. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Awesome.
Time just flies by. So, this episode, we're going to be talking about my firsthand experiences with the unexplained at a pretty cool location called Edinburgh Manor, which is like in the middle.
What is that? I've never heard of that before. What is that?
It is a poor farm / mental institution. That's kind of what they used to call it back in the day, as a poor farm. Basically, where people that didn't have anywhere to go, or they had some sort of social disability where they couldn't get along with people, or they couldn't work for whatever reason, they would live in this home. It opened in the early 1900s, and it was operational all the way up until 2010, which I have a little video that I put together, which is like a little walkthrough video that I did when I was there last.
Cool.
And it's crazy that it's only been abandoned for 8 years, and how decrepit the place actually looks. All the paint is peeling off the walls. I mean, it looks like it's been abandoned for 20 years. So...
Wow.
Weather and humidity really takes a toll on old buildings.
Nature retakes stuff.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. So I've actually been to that location multiple times. I was there in, let me see, I was there in 2014, 2015, 2016, and then this year in 2018, I was there in June. So altogether, I have spent 5 nights there, because one of those years we stayed 2 days. So
wow, okay, it's like 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Oh God, I hate that game. I really hate that game. I don't mind ghost hunting, but that stuff scares me. Okay. So yeah, and it's really weird because, as you guys know, all of the paranormal investigators that watch this show later on, none of this stuff can be repeated. None of it is consistent. I've been there, I've stayed there 5 nights, and nothing has happened the same way each night. Sometimes I'm there and it's like nothing happens whatsoever, and one time I was there specifically, it was extremely active. Like it was like out of a yeah, it was hopping. It was like it was out of a ghost movie or something. How much activity was going on. So it's really strange how that stuff happens. That, you know, you think that, oh, maybe like when I went there in June, I thought, oh well, they remember me from last time, so they're gonna be like, oh, she's back. I can't wait to like poke her and scare her and push the furniture like I did last time. We actually had nothing happen this time around.
Nothing.
And it was really weird because it was so quiet and not creepy that we were like kind of bored. Like we weren't even creeped out being in there. We were just like, oh, we're just in this building. There's nothing here.
Just an empty building.
Just an empty building. So it's just weird how that stuff goes on. But I think I will first, before I tell you guys about some of my past experiences there, I think I'll first play, I took a little video last time I was there of a little walkthrough where I explained some of the claims, so you guys can get kind of a visual idea of what the place looks like before I tell you some experiences. Does that sound good?
Awesome. Let it roll.
Let's go. Hi, everyone. We are here, me and Steve, he's the cameraman. We are here staying overnight at Edinburgh Manor. We're in the middle of nowhere, seriously. Like, driving here was just country boondocks with a bunch of cows. So I'm gonna take you guys around and just show you some interesting things before the sun goes down and our investigation starts. So we just kind of came in the front door and we're in the entryway foyer. The building is split like a mirror, so the right and left sides and the second floor and first floor are exactly the same. The men's ward was over to our right, and then the ladies' ward was over to the left. So let's go check out the men's ward first, because there's some interesting characters down there. So it's pretty dark already.
Yeah, it is.
It's 8:12, so we're almost approaching.
I'll turn night shot off so everyone can kind of get a glimpse.
Get a glimpse of how dark it is already.
Yeah, you got the flashlight on too.
Yeah, the flashlight's on, which this is a really bright flashlight. So down here at the end of the hall,
You can see all the paint that's peeling.
down here at the end of the hall, this room is often called the suicide room because the man that lived here, he lived with his mother his whole life, and then when she passed away, he didn't really have anywhere to go, so he got sent here, as many people would. His name was Paul, and he was a grown, man that just wasn't capable of taking care of himself, and he kept telling everybody, I want to leave, I want to leave. Well, he ended up leaving by hanging himself actually on this doorknob. So Cindy, who is the owner of this manor, said that she's actually talked to a former patient of Edinburgh that was actually here the day that Paul hung himself, and believes that this is the original door that he did it, but the doorknob is new, so. Now it's been converted into a mop closet, as you can see, not very exciting. Just one of the larger rooms here, which they believe is inhabited now by a spirit of a small girl. Some people think that her name may be Suzanne. Apparently it's been reported that these balls will move on their own, and people have actually caught that on camera. We were all sitting here, the layout was a little bit different, and we heard a piece of furniture being dragged across the floor, or some sort of drawer opening.
That's pretty
right behind
crazy.
us, and it was loud and it scared the crap out of us. So
I can only imagine so.
yeah. So let's go ahead and actually go out this way and go upstairs.
Okay.
Just rooms everywhere. Every wing had their own bathroom. And this was just a recreation area. There's a pool table here and TVs and things. People actually claim they hear pool balls hitting each other and bouncing off the walls as if people are still here playing. So yeah, let's go upstairs. This one you might want to turn the light on for.
Okay. And, woo! That's so
Look
creepy.
at all the paint peeling. Oh, don't fall.
Everywhere. Paint peeling everywhere.
So the second floor actually is where a lot of the activity happens. This is the room where a lot of people that visit here and take pictures from the outside, they actually claim that they see people standing in these windows. So that's something that we can definitely try to capture when we're outside next time. Let's try to take some pictures and see if there's anything in the window. And people also report that they've taken pictures or video and that they can see someone in the reflection of that mirror. So that's pretty cool. So then, I think the most popular room here is room 200. So let's go there.
Let's go to 200.
Let's go to room 200. When I was here in 2016, I stayed overnight in this building by myself. And one of the most active rooms is actually right behind me. That's where I stayed. It's room 200. And when the owners first bought Edinburgh, the boyfriend slept in the room and was a non-believer and had his foot tugged on. We came here in 2015, a member of our group stayed in that room, and he woke up with someone shaking his foot, which you can see on camera. And then in 2016, I stayed here by myself, and I got woken up to a ball of light that was floating down my body, and I felt like something was standing at the end of my bed, and it really freaked me out. So, which we have that on camera, still unexplained. I know what bugs look like, I know what dust looks like, and this was neither of those things. So let's go in and just take a look.
Really not much to it.
Just a small room. I think every room here is like just kind of active.
Funny. It's a hard time focusing in here. Here we go. Yeah.
I don't know, the camera is kind of like that.
It's the first time it's happened. Ooh.
We've got these lovely dolls.
Here we go.
Got some creepy B-roll footage of this thing.
Ooh. And for my next trick. Ah!
So creepy.
All of this is creepy.
A little bit. Does this thing even work?
You just gotta pull out. You just gotta pull the.
Did you do that?
No.
Or just, I don't know, maybe it was paint. Or was it noise in there? Oh, the string.
Yeah.
Do you have me in the shot?
Yeah.
Hey,
That is
guys!
creepy.
You want to see some ghosts? Come on along to Edinburgh Manor, where there's all kinds of orbs and furniture that moves by itself. I'm really bad at this.
I love it. Keep it up.
Let's go! Yeah, last time I was here, all they had was Howdy Doody. And
That's not Howdy Doody.
That's not Howdy Doody?
That's not Howdy Doody. That's something else. I mean, that's Raggedy Ann. That's, I think, Big Boy. That's
And
Chucky.
Yeah.
That's not Howdy Doody. Howdy Doody is Buck
Chucky
Teeth.
had some of his face eaten.
That's crazy.
So now they have some new dolls to join in. So when this place closed in 2010, there were 30 patients that still lived here when they closed, which the owner has actually met some of them, and some of them aren't even that old. And I don't know, it'd be really interesting if we could find people that used to live here and what they thought about this place. Because
Yeah.
what she made it sound, something that I had not heard before, is that a lot of people didn't like living here, that the administration was really strict, and that at some point they were even like mistreating people and possibly sexually harassing some of the female patients here. So
So that would definitely cause a lot of negative energy.
Yeah, I think stuff like that would cause residual like things to be trapped here. So there's a chair right there. Yeah, so let's just keep going. So we're on the left side of the building now, which is the women's ward. So this is the women's side, and it's interesting because at the end of each hall, since they're mirrors, there's like this larger room that's in the middle, and apparently this one has a much better feeling than the other side, which seems kind of weird because it's masculine energy versus female energy. But one of the things that men don't like coming over here, because there is this male presence that apparently would try to protect the women that were staying here from, like we were talking about, there's some administration members that were harassing women and just mistreating people. So there was this like big burly guy that tried to protect everybody, and his spirit apparently is in there, makes men feel uncomfortable and maybe pokes them, pushes them. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go set up our stuff.
No.
All
right, we're back.
Ta-da!
Hey, we're back.
So now, what was it like? What was it like being there?
Oh, I was honestly really excited to be back there. I was looking forward to that for so long. I have always loved that location. I just kind of have like this connection to it where I just want to go there and have stuff happen again. But nothing happened this time. Nothing happened.
Well, why don't you talk about the other times you've been there? What happened like the first time you went?
Well, the best stories that I have was from the second to last time that I was there in 2016. And so I had been there, I've been there 4 times altogether. So 3 times were with a paranormal group that I was a part of. So we were there in 2014, 2015, and 2016. Like we went there every year. And in 2016, we decided to stay there 2 nights, and we did a bunch of very interesting experiments that actually produced a lot of results. So one of the experiments that I definitely would like to talk about is called the Ganzfeld.
What's that?
I know, a lot of people are always like, what the heck is that when I say it? So the Ganzfeld experiment is basically the best way to scare your neighbors. If you want to look crazy, you just do the Ganzfeld experiment outside on your front lawn, and trust me, no one... I have my ghost hunting equipment bag. And
Very
so
nice.
You take your ping pong balls and you cut them in half, and you actually put them over your eye. So you look crazy because you've got ping pong balls over your eyes. And what that does is it kind of blocks out all of the light that's around you, and it makes it really blurry. While you have those ping pong balls on your eyes, you listen to white noise, which I downloaded onto my phone, and I have like noise canceling headphones that I listen to. So what it's doing is it's kind of tricking your brain because you can't see anything and you can't hear anything, and it really allows your sixth sense, kind of that psychic perception, to be heightened since you're not getting any stimulus from the outside environment around you.
Anyplace else, yeah.
Yeah. So when I was there in 2016, I decided to do the Ganzfeld experiment. And the really interesting part of this is that I have another weirdo friend who lives in Pennsylvania. And we decided that we were going to do the Ganzfeld experiment at the same time while he was in Pennsylvania and I was at Edinburgh. And I did not give him any information as to where I was going to be, what I was going to be doing. I just told him, I'm going to this haunted location, I'm going to be doing this experiment, but I'm not going to fill you in on any of the details because I want to see if you can kind of pick up on any psychic impressions of where I'm at and what I'm doing.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. So the first thing that I should note about this experiment is that it went by like that. It goes by so fast. And I think that that has to do with your ability to meditate and kind of like shut yourself out, because I seriously thought I was doing this for 5 minutes. It went by so quick.
Wow.
And the only reason
How long did you do it?
An hour.
An hour? Wow.
An hour.
Okay.
And it went by so fast. And the only reason I even knew it was an hour was because I had downloaded an hour's worth of the white noise to listen to. So what actually like woke me up from this meditation was that the white noise stopped on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a few things that came to me visually, and all of these things are going to make me sound really weird because it's really weird, and I have no idea why I saw these things, but it's as if you're seeing something like, I'm not seeing it with my eyes, it's just something that I'm seeing with my brain, and you're just like, kind of like having a dream. You're not actually seeing anything, but you have it, like mentally, you can describe it. And at the very end, which I didn't even realize it was at the end of this experiment, I started talking out loud, because we had camcorders on me and everything, of course. I started talking out loud, and I was describing that I was a waitress, and I was behind the counter of a diner, and I was bending down to pick something up or to get something from a shelf underneath, and there was a man sitting eating breakfast. And he was sitting there holding a newspaper. He had a light pinstriped dress shirt on, and he was in his 60s. He was like a little bit older guy, but he was still like in pretty good shape. He had a nice fitted shirt on, and he was not eating his food, just sitting there with his paper. And it was like I came into that vision, I saw it, I caught those details, and then I was gone. Like, I don't know exactly what the heck that was about. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I had another quick vision where I was going down a hallway looking at ceiling lights. And all I saw was the ceiling. Like, I was rolling, and I saw the ceiling, and I saw the fluorescent lights and the drop ceiling going past. And immediately,
like you were in a hospital or something.
You got it. Yeah, exactly. Immediately I got this feeling like I was in a hospital. So I don't know what the heck. I don't know. You know, I don't know where these things are coming from. I don't know if it's some sort of like impression that I'm picking up from the building, you know, from the location I was at.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw those things right away, like right as the experiment was ending. My dogs are going nuts out there. I don't know if you can hear them. Be quiet. Right as the experiment was ending, you know, I had all this stuff come to me. The white noise ends. And I'm like kind of confused because I'm like, whoa, you know, is this over already? Like, what happened? So I take my headphones out and I sit up and I go, man, that was an hour? That didn't seem like that long. And I heard a man's voice say something. To this day, I don't know what it said. I mean, we caught it on our camcorders. We caught it on our audio recorder. It was so loud that I thought one of my group members was actually upstairs, like walking around. And so I'm like, hey, are you guys there? Are you there? And nobody. So
and there was nobody.
Nobody.
But you couldn't make it out, though.
Couldn't make it out. Even on the recording, I couldn't make it out what they said. So I go downstairs and check with the group leader, who was there by herself, a woman, I should make note of. It was a man's voice I heard, and she's a woman, and she said that everybody else in the group is outside sleeping in the RV that we had. So they weren't even in the building, so it couldn't have been them. So
Gotcha.
I'm immediately freaked out, and I call my friend who was doing this experiment at the same time in Pennsylvania, and he said, I think I saw you. And I'm like, what? You know, what do you mean you think you saw me? What? Describe it. Because I know what I'm wearing, where I'm laying. I had that creepy Chucky doll that was on the video. I had that creepy Chucky doll next to me in case he said, oh, I could see you. I'm going to say, did you see the Chucky doll?
There you go.
Well, he said he could just slightly see my face, and what's weird is he said, I saw you had headphones, but they weren't like headphones. They were like wires wrapped around your ears, and that doesn't seem right. I've never seen headphones like that. Well, I actually have a pair of sport headphones that have a wire that wraps around your ear. And it's this big, weird looking thing because it's supposed to wrap around so it doesn't come out.
Ah, okay.
And I was like,
makes sense.
Holy crap, I think he actually saw me. He
That
also
was cool.
saw parts of the building from the outside, and he actually sketched it, and it looks like the columns that are outside of the building. It's really, really weird. So overall, I think that the experiment was a success. And
you made contact with something. Yeah.
I made contact with something. I heard a man's voice that was unexplained. I wish I knew what it was saying. And when I told my friend that, I thought maybe it was my friend's voice. I said...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I said, you know, did you hear anything? And he thought he heard my voice. So...
Oh.
It was definitely a very interesting experiment. And the Ganzfeld is something that you can do anywhere by yourself, just as an experiment to test your psychic abilities. And also as a way to help you meditate if you have a problem with trying to block out stimulus. Because you know how the world is today. I mean, come on, we're connected to our phones all the time. Everything is extremely overwhelming. The road noise that's always in the background if you live by the road like I do.
Tons of sensory data. Tons of it. Yeah.
Always, all the time. So it's definitely interesting, and I would encourage people to try, you know, different things like that, especially if you're going as a paranormal investigator to these unique locations. Try something new. So we did other experiments there. Definitely not as interesting or in-depth as the Ganzfeld. I did a similar kind of thing. I did a blindfold experiment there one time, which is as simple as it sounds. I literally just wore a blindfold. And it's kind of the same thing. If you block one of your senses, yeah, your other senses are going to pick up, and you're going to be able to hear things better, smell things better. You're going to be more receptive since you can't see. And so I'm just sitting there, my blindfold on, trying not to be creeped out, and I hear right next to my head a bang on the wall that was like that loud.
Whoa!
It was so loud, and I'm like, I jump up and I'm just like, what in the hell was that? And that was actually one of the very few times that I've actually ran out of a building. Like, I actually ran out.
You ran out? Wow.
I ran out.
Okay.
Because I felt like extremely overwhelmed, and it creeped me out pretty bad. So
yeah.
I did go back inside. I just needed a second to like get away from that all. I was like, wow, that's a lot. That was a lot. So
did you ever find out did you find out what made the bang? Or
I don't know what made the bang. I mean, there was nothing there. We always have video cameras and stuff on me. So I had a video camera on me. Noises like that are really common in Edinburgh. I've heard furniture drug across the floor. I've heard banging on the walls. I've heard voices. So the place is really active. But one of the coolest things that I've witnessed or experienced at the location was the balls of light. And
oh, what's that? Wow, what's that? Oh.
I know how people think about orbs. People are like,
yeah,
orbs.
The orbs kind of suck.
It's dust.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. I really do. I agree. Most of those pictures where there's red circles drawn around shit in the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't like those. I'm not a fan, okay? Those are usually...
But you can see clearly the dust moves right. Dust doesn't move right. Like, what?
Exactly.
What are you talking about,
if
buddy?
you're seeing it come into the frame and then leave the frame and it looks like it has wings, that's probably a fly.
Yes. That's right. It's probably a bug.
It's probably a bug. I really hate to burst your bubble because I have had so many people come to me with, oh, look, I got this picture of it's the spirit of old Saint Germain. And I'm just like, no, honey, no.
It's a bug.
That's a bug. You know, I'm crushing people left and right. But I know a lot of people also are in the same boat as us, and that a lot of still photography or even night vision cameras, things like moisture on the lens, bugs, dust, there's all kinds of things that can cause, you know, the look of some sort of orb. What's different about this is that I actually saw these with my own eyes. We all have seen them at this location, where it is a ball of self-generating light, in a completely dark hallway, you will see a ball of light, and it's not a headlight, because all of the experiences, actually, now that I think about it, with this, have been on the second floor, where you actually see a ball of light travel down the hallway into a room and then disappear. And it's too low to the ground. There's no way it could be a headlight. It's not someone's flashlight. It's like a self-emanating ball of light. Have you ever seen something like that, Jim?
I've seen about, when I was in Alaska, I saw will-o-wisps.
Yes.
Yeah, it was about the size of a softball. There were about 3 of them.
Yes.
They were moving between the tree line.
Oh, there's 3.
It was scary.
Were they colored or were they white light?
They were white. They were white going on orange. I'm pretty sure they were white. I'd like to look back and say they were different colors, but they weren't. They were white.
Yeah.
But that was enough for me because there was nobody out there. I was with a hiking group at the time, and we were looking into the tree line, and there was nobody living there except bears and deers. So, yeah.
Well, what's interesting is that you brought up the will-o-wisp, and...
Oh, yeah. It was a will-o-wisp. I'm pretty sure of it.
One of the legends of the will-o-wisp, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that they will inhabit areas that are abandoned. And that could be very well, it could be the same phenomena as what I'm seeing, what I saw with my own eyes in Edinburgh, since this location has been just completely abandoned and left open, for nature to kind of fill the void and move in there.
That's what I say. I say nature abhors a vacuum. And I think if you're not there, something's going to move in. I really believe that. You want to seek a haunted house, go to a house that hasn't been lived in for a year or 2. You'll find something.
Yeah,
I'm
agree.
really sure of it.
I agree. I think there are maybe spirits that are trapped there or that choose to stay there. Or there might also be instances of what I call a time loop, where maybe there's some slippage in time and I'm actually experiencing something that happened there 50 years ago when the, hospital or the asylum held patients. But what I saw is very similar to the things you described. I saw these white balls of light. I mean, they were probably about softball size, although the size is kind of hard to gauge when it's kind of far away and moving.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is that, well, I should probably back up, because the craziest thing is that I slept there by myself.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. But I've never been someone to back down from a challenge. And so I'm like, I'm going to stay there by myself because I want to see what happens. Well, it's kind of hard for me to get to sleep because I kept hearing stuff. And I kept...
Oh, what'd you hear?
Just furniture moving, footstep noises, unexplained noises, and I'm just like, it's probably just the paint peeling off the walls. As I'm hearing, it's like the furniture's moving. I'm like, it's fine. So I finally fell asleep, and I must have only been asleep for 2 hours, 2 or no more than 3 hours, because I woke up, it was a little after 3 in the morning.
It's always 3 o'clock.
Isn't that midnight. Weird? What is up with that?
It's
the witching hour.
Midnight. Yeah.
I don't know. So I woke up and I just remember waking up and feeling really freaked out, like something was standing over my bed watching me. And it creeped me out so bad that I could not stay there. I had to go. I went and slept in the back seat of a rental car that I was in because...
Wow.
Backstory, when I was trying to leave work to go drive 4 hours to go stay at Edinburgh in 2016, my car wouldn't start. So ended up having to get a rental car. Made it out there, stayed the night there, woke up at 3 in the morning. Something is standing over my bed watching me, and I'm freaked the hell out. So I go sleep in the back of the rental car. The next morning, first thing in the morning, I'm like, we have to review that footage. Like, was something standing there? Did something wake me up? Well, sure enough, you see on the video a ball of light. It didn't come into the frame. It manifested in the middle of the frame right by my face, and it went down the contour of my body and then stopped by my feet and then disappeared, and I woke up like right after that. And
okay.
It was really weird. I am pretty convinced that thing woke me up because
Wow.
it
Yeah,
looked...
that doesn't sound like what dust does either.
No, dust usually, I mean, I kind of have some allergies, but I don't think dust has ever scared me to the point where I had to leave and go sleep in a car. So,
Yeah.
so, and it was just really also kind of reassuring because that's the same thing that I had seen with my own eyes, you know, physically watching those balls of light move down the hallway in that same fashion. So it was also really cool, I should mention, that it was like a few months later, they aired Ghost Adventures, you know, Zach Bagans in his big burly black t-shirt. They went there and they captured that ball of light and showed it on the TV show. Now, of course...
Nice. So, yeah, very nice.
Of course, they were like, it's a demon, and no, it's negative, and it really is not. I've never felt anything negative there. It just kind of freaks you out when you don't know what's going on. I think that's all that it is. But
yeah, it's kind of hard to say stuff is... I don't even want to get into that, because...
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, it really is, because that just opens up a whole bunch of garbage. It's just... yeah.
We have, I want to say hi to Steve, one of our most loyal fans of Measuring the Circle. He's in the chat room right now, and he actually said, I've seen one with my eyes also. So it would be really interesting to know how many people have actually seen balls of light or will-o-wisps or spirit energy or however you want to describe it. You know,
yeah, however you want to call it.
I think a lot of people have kind of witnessed the same thing, and what the heck is that? It's just some sort of pure energy is really how it comes across, how it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think mine were dancing though, so
yeah,
it was very interesting.
Yours was really interesting. I would love to check that out. I would love to go to Alaska.
It was something to see. It really was. And the best part about it is our tour guide was like, don't worry about it, just keep going. Like he'd seen it 1,000 times before, you know? He's like, nah, don't worry about it. Let's just keep on trucking, boys. Keep on trucking.
Did he warn you to, not go over there? Because
he didn't even mention it. He just wanted us to keep on moving. He just didn't even talk about it.
That is smart advice.
So in my mind, he's probably seen it 1,000 times before.
Sure. Hey, that's smart advice, I think. I mean, who knows what would have happened if you would have wandered off.
I did kind of want to go see what was out there, because I thought maybe it was other hikers or something else, but they
not living people at the least.
No, that's right. Ever.
Oh, you just cut out there for a second. What did you just say?
Oh, I just said I don't think there was any people out there ever. You know, it was just one of those places like you just didn't go.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not in the remote wilderness of Alaska, I would say.
I know, that's the
probably
thing.
not.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, it's interesting. We've all kind of seen similar things in that aspect. So every time I'd been there, it seemed like I'd caught something at Edinburgh, and
except this time. What happened this time?
Except this time, I don't know. That's the thing, is there's really no answer to it, you know? I don't know if it's because...
Was the feeling different when you first went in, or...?
Not really. When I first went in, I felt really excited, and I kind of got that same, creepy vibe, thinking something's going to happen, and remembering all these experiences that I had before, and I would say...
When did you realize nothing was going to happen?
Yeah, we started investigating a little bit after 8 or so, and I would say it was probably about midnight when we were totally, we had given up. We had pretty much given up. We investigated until 3:30 or so. I mean, we stuck it out, even though nothing was happening. And we did EVP burst sessions. Jim here actually lent me some of his equipment, which I still have. I haven't sold it yet on eBay.
Thank you.
I have a laser grid, or he has a laser grid, I should say. Which
we have a laser.
We have a laser grid. It's Measuring the Circle's property now.
That's right.
You know, so we set that up to try to see if it helps you kind of get a visual of 3D space in these dark areas to try to see if anything.
And you can see if anything's moving by or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. I have a night vision camera, which you guys probably figured out because of the video that I showed earlier. I have a Mel meter and a EMF meter. So just different, ghost hunting equipment to try to make contact, and it was just nothing.
We're gonna do more of those in the future. You and I are gonna go hunting someplace. I don't know yet. I don't know where yet. We'll have to figure it out, but we'll go and we'll see what we can find.
We absolutely should. I'm definitely game for that. And I think last time I checked, we have 62 subscribers on this channel.
We're almost at 100. Almost.
So, we've been plugging away. We just need, 38 more? 38 more.
30 more. You're not bad at math.
It's okay. 38 more. And the great thing about that is once we reach 100 subscribers, not only are we going to get a custom URL so we can actually be youtube.com/measuringthecircle instead of youtube.com/bunch of gibberish that nobody knows. We're also going to be able to use the YouTube app on our phones to do live videos on the road.
Very cool.
So that'll be really great if we can get to 100, because we were kind of tentatively trying to plan something maybe for October later this year to do some investigation on the road. So it would just be great to bring you guys along and get that live video where we can have you guys ask questions and give us things you want to do.
Subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Summer is a time when there's not a lot of people. We've had a dip in our viewership, but it's summer and it makes sense because people are out. It's nice out. That's fine.
It's difficult.
But when winter comes again, hopefully we will have more people to say hello to.
Yes, definitely. You have to stay optimistic with that because people during the summer, they're always traveling and going places and too busy to sit at home on a Thursday night and watch our show. But we still have...
Like you're going to be traveling next month, aren't you? Where are you going to be?
I am. I'm actually doing a cross-country road trip because I'm crazy and want to spend 14 hours in the car. I'm driving to Yellowstone and I'm spending 4 days. I'm actually going to be on the very far west side of Yellowstone, staying in Teutonia, Idaho, actually, and
nice.
Staying there for 4 days. I have a very interesting hike planned out where I found this weird backcountry route where you can go hike 15 miles because that's the type of things that I find fun. I like to do
15 miles. Yeah.
So you hike 15 miles into the wilderness, and
that's what I get in the car. If somebody says more than a mile, that's what I take in my car.
And if I don't get eaten by a bear, at the end of the 15 miles is this hot springs that's called Mr. Bubbles. That's one of these very elusive springs where you can actually bathe in. It's safe.
Nice.
It's
Cool.
a safe temperature to actually bathe in. So I'm just trying to get as far away from people as possible, so I swear if someone is there, they might be murdered, because I am, like, hoping, I'm really hoping that I'm going to be the only one there. So we're staying there for just a night. We're hiking there, staying the night, and then hiking back, and then we're going to have 2 more days to just explore Yellowstone. I mean, you could spend weeks there and still not see everything. It's just huge, just massive.
So why that matters, folks, is that we're going to keep next month open. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We're probably going to have a show, but it'll probably be just, I don't know, talking about ghosts or fae or something.
Yeah. So if you guys have any suggestions for topics, or if anybody you know would like to, be interviewed, we're going to be kind of open the next couple weeks with if you want to call in the show and talk to these weirdos.
What is our phone number? We do have a phone number.
We do have a phone number, and I do know it, but I don't... Oh, wait. It's on our flyers that I have right here. Check that out.
Nice!
So,
I knew it.
Our phone number for this Skype number is 773-492-1875.
Nice.
So
yeah, you can share your stories there.
Yeah.
You can call up and share your stories.
Call up, share your stories. As you guys know, we're here on YouTube, and we have a Facebook, Measuring the Circle, and we also, our email is measuringthecircle@gmail.com. So if you guys ever want to share your stories with us, we would love to hear them. We would love to hear them, and maybe that's what we could talk about next month. So
yeah, because that's what we're doing. Hopefully, month after that, everything will be back along track.
Yeah,
and we'll be fine. But just next month, it's gonna be open because you're gonna be hiking for 30 miles there and back.
And I will be back.
How you doing.
The next show was supposed to be August 30th, that Thursday, and I won't be back until the 28th, and it's going to be kind of hectic trying to get back into work and back into just life in general. So
keep.
It's going to be a challenge.
See if we're on or not. We'll see.
Yes. Hopefully we'll be on. We'll just be chatting about things, and I look forward to talking with you more then. Steve has been in the chat. I did want to say one thing. He asked me, was the weather different, or was there anything different that you realized? I actually looked it up, and I have always been there in the summer, and the only difference was the time where it was very active in 2016. It was most active that year, and it was thunderstorming that night.
Ah, that's cool.
So
you always need a good thunderstorm when you're ghost hunting.
I know. Cool. It just sets the whole tone, doesn't it? I mean,
it does. Yeah.
It's really weird. So I've heard there's different theories that water or the electrical energy, like the negative ions that are produced, can kind of give you those paranormal effects. But hey, I have no idea.
You never know. It might be the moon. It might be the universe.
It's the universe aligning.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you're not going to get the same thing every time. There's only a few places like that.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of. There's like a lighthouse in Florida that you're almost guaranteed to have some kind of experience in. There's another place in California, but I mean, generally, you get what you get. It's not always. It really isn't.
And even those.
That's kind of why I like the old Ghost Hunters show, like in the beginning, because there are sometimes you watch that show and they didn't find nothing.
And that's the truth, guys. That's how it really is.
Yeah, I think that gave them more credibility than anything on now, because everything you watch now, whoa, we found something. I watch the Dead Files. I've got all the seasons on my TV.
Oh yeah.
And I love this show. I love her. I love him. I just wanted to go into a house and go, hey, this place is great. It feels wonderful. You never have that. You never have it.
Nope.
It's always some kind of evil possessed, we're going to die show. I'm like, can't you go someplace happy one time? Just once?
All about the ratings, Jim. Ghost? Don't you know that's how TV works? It's all about the ratings.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
I know. It really, a lot of the TV
it adds
shows.
To your credibility that you didn't find anything. That's what I'm saying. I think it really does.
You're totally right. I'm the best ghost hunter out there.
Damn right.
Damn right. Didn't find anything. I did my job.
That's right. There was nothing to be had.
But that's really the truth of it. I mean, I have been to many haunted locations. I've been to like 60 or something. I don't know. I kind of lost track. And most of the time, nothing happens. If something happens, it's like a very narrow window where there'll be like shit moving, or you'll hear something, you'll see something, and then it's dead again. Nothing happens. So we all just kind of live for that little rush, that little moment where some unexplained stuff happens that makes you question the paradigm of reality that you're living in, and then everything goes back to normal, and you're like, wait a second, none of this is actually normal. Like, at any moment, some weird stuff could happen again. So
that's true.
It's a rush.
Yeah, it is. It's a heck of a rush, because the majority of the time you're sitting in a basement sweating, or shivering,
or freezing,
and you're in the dark.
And you're like, what is that? Is it a spider on me? Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Fighting off bugs and mold.
Yeah, black mold and spiders. Yeah,
It's a dirty
that's the
job.
reality of ghost hunting.
It really is. Well, I'm really glad that I was able to share some of those experiences with you guys. I definitely have tons more experiences at other locations, so I think we should do this again sometime. We should just talk about things that we've done, because we don't do that very often. We're always talking to someone or about some subject matter, and we have our own history with this type of stuff.
I haven't gone to 60 places, but I've been to a few, and it's been fun. Every time it's been fun.
You always learn
Generally,
something.
You're right. You see nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's all we got, folks.
Yeah.
You see nothing.
Yep. Nothing to see here. We base a whole show on it.
A whole show on nothing.
Yeah.
That's good, though. No, it's really good. It's good to be honest and talk about this kind of stuff, because a lot of people just get caught up in the entertainment world and this fantasy that ghost hunting is like, you know, you're running through dark hallways, chasing ghosts, running away from you and stuff. And it's really, it's not like that. It's a lot of patience. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of research and history that you have to look into to really understand, you know, the location and what you're getting yourself into. So if that's one little thing that I could leave you guys with, is that do your research and be respectful. And this isn't about fighting ghosts when you go to these locations. It's really just about experiencing the location and what's there. So
there you go. All right. And
That's
on
my
that,
2
we
cents.
can end a little early. How's that?
Yeah, just a little bit early.
We can wish you well on your vacation.
Thank
Be
you.
careful. Be safe.
I hope I don't get eaten by a bear. And if I do get eaten by a bear...
No, remember, now, this fellow we know wrote the, Emergency 411?
Oh, yeah, Missing
Don't be
411.
the first in line. Don't be the last in line.
Well, that's kind of hard
Don't
when you're
take
going...
your water.
You're going with one other person. I'm going to be the
Yeah.
first or last, and there's no options.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
if I...
Don't go berry picking.
I will not go berry picking. I promise you guys, I promise you right now on this live show that I will not take my shoes off. So I swear to
Good.
God, if you
You're
find
not
my
taking your
shoes,
off.
if you find my shoes, I got abducted, okay?
Yeah. Something happened.
Something happened to me. So if I don't get eaten by a bear or abducted or, you know, whatever it is out there that's taking people and taking them away, I hope to see you guys
You're
maybe...
going in the thick of it. You know it. You know you're going into the thick of it.
I know. I'm crying.
You wrote a whole book on that. So,
I know.
Hey,
A whole book on Yellowstone, too, actually.
yeah. So there you go.
So, I guess wish me luck, and I hope to see you guys again next month. And if I do go missing, I will haunt you, Jim. So we need to come
All
up with
right.
a we need to
cool.
come up
Leave
with a
me
safe
message.
word. I'll leave you a message.
That's cool. All right.
All right.
everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good
Thanks so much
summer.
for
Bye.
watching. Bye.